You spent over a decade in school. Thousands of hours learning, studying, testing, preparing for life. And in all that time, not one class, not one lesson, not one single hour was dedicated to teaching you how money actually works. That was not an accident. Think about everything school taught you. History, science, literature, algebra, the periodic table, how to dissect a frog. Now think about what it never taught you. How to file your taxes, how interest works, what a credit score is and why it matters, how to invest, what inflation does to your savings, how to negotiate a salary, how compound interest can either make you wealthy or bury you in debt. You graduated completely prepared to be an employee, and completely unprepared to build any kind of financial independence. And here is the part that should genuinely make you angry. This was not an oversight. This was a design choice, because an educated workforce that understands money is harder to keep working for someone else. A population that understands investing and passive income is harder to keep dependent on a paycheck. The system needed workers, not wealthy independent thinkers, and the curriculum reflected that perfectly. Studies consistently show that financial literacy in America is at critically low levels, not because Americans are not intelligent, but because they were deliberately never taught. And the consequences of that missing education show up everywhere. In the debt statistics, in the retirement savings crisis, in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle that traps millions of hardworking people who did everything they were told to do and still cannot get ahead. The biggest lie school taught you is that a good job equals financial security. Get good grades, go to college, get a good job, and everything will work out. That was the promise. And for millions of Americans, they kept their end of the bargain completely. They studied hard. They got the degree. They got the job. And then they discovered that the job came with student loan debt that takes decades to pay off. That the salary barely keeps pace with inflation. That one unexpected medical bill or job loss can wipe out everything they worked for in an instant. The job was supposed to be the destination, but nobody told them it was only ever supposed to be the starting point. Real financial security does not come from a job. It comes from assets, from investments, from multiple income streams that exist independently of any single employer. And school never once mentioned any of that. Now here is the second lie. And this one is even more damaging because it sounds so responsible. The second lie is that saving money is enough. From the time you were a child, you were told to save your money. Put it in a piggy bank. Open a savings account. Be responsible. Do not spend what you do not have. And saving is important. But saving alone is not a wealth-building strategy. It is a wealth-preserving strategy at best, and a wealth-destroying strategy at worst. Here is why. Inflation averages around 3% per year. A typical savings account earns a fraction of that, which means every single year your saved money sits in a bank account. It is actually losing purchasing power. You are not building wealth. You are slowly losing it while feeling responsible for doing so. The wealthy do not just save. They invest. They put their money into assets that grow faster than inflation, that generate returns, that compound over time into something significant. Saving money is a starting point, not a finishing line, and school taught you it was enough. It was never enough. Here is what I want you to take from this video. The fact that nobody taught you this is not your fault. You were handed an incomplete map and told it would lead you to financial freedom. It was never going to, but you are not a child anymore. And the education you never received, you can get now. One video, one book, one decision at a time. The people who build real wealth are not smarter than you. They just learn things school never taught them. And now, so have you. Drop in the comments. What is the one money lesson you wish school had taught you? I read every single comment, and your answer might become the topic of a future video. Hit subscribe because every week we cover the financial education you never got in school. I will see you there.